Hey guys, it's Phil Swift, and we have a new gear review episode for you. It's been quite some time since we've done one of these. I still have two more that we got to do for the future, which is the Castile Economic Saber and the CG Katana as well. But today's episode, we'll be having a look at the SPES Light AP. Honestly, the best way to describe this jacket is that it's pretty much the SPES officer jacket, but it just looks like an AP, and it has additional features that can offer you more protection. So this jacket here is priced at $215 USD. It costs a little bit more than the standard AP, which is at $209. The jacket does offer an amazing feel, and it gives the wearer full control of movement without feeling any restrictions, or without feeling the extra weight or the bulkiness from the standard AP. So let's talk about the jacket's features. You have three pockets, one down the front panel here for foam or whatever you want to put in that pocket for padding, for protection. You have two rib pockets as well. And the foam that it comes with is pretty much like a camp pad foam. It's polyethylene, which is sort of impact, like it absorbs impact pretty well. It still doesn't protect you as good as regular padding does. Sorry to mention, it also has pockets where the shoulder is, which is nice, but Matt Easton basically said that it kind of got in the way when you're trying to lift your hands up, and it does. So I immediately took off the foam there so that it didn't bother me as much after that. But it does have, like the SPES officer, it does have like built-in, like almost like a mesh gel kind of padding that you get on the SPES officers. So it has that same kind of padding already built into the shoulder area, but the thing is that padding is only within this circle, or within this oval. Whereas the SPES officer, that padding kind of goes all the way down to the elbow. I honestly think that SPES should have done that, or just have like this whole area of the arm looks padded, but there is absolutely no padding here. I'll get to that in a moment, but I did get mine with arming points. If you aren't going to buy the SPES protectors, the plastic protectors, don't get yours with arming points, because you'll end up it's pretty much useless, and the arming points will pretty much rub against your gear that you're gonna use, like the SPES, the regular SPES elbow, for instance. If you're gonna use a sparring glove, the arming points will rub between the sparring glove cuff, and it'll just eventually fray and look really bad. So don't get the arming points unless you're planning on getting the protectors, or else you'll spend hours like me seam ripping all the arming points, and it looks really bad. So that's something to look out for. I do like their embroidery, it's very nice. However, my Canadian flag did kind of come slightly frayed when I got it, but that's fine. But they did a really good job on the school logo, and it is quite inexpensive to get it done when you order your jacket. And it's really cool that they're doing name tags and stuff as well, so that's something to definitely consider. The lining is really good. It's the same sort of lining on the SPES officers. There were mentions that the back, there's more like it's more breathable in the back, and it's true. I do feel the difference. And it's probably would be just as breathable in the front as well if it wasn't for all the foam and the double layer, or when you're overlapping your jacket essentially. So but it is nice that it breathes in the back without any sort of meshing or little speed holes, or I forget, I just call them speed holes, but little vent holes on the back. So, and obviously I do like the fact that it comes with the little strap to make it fit very well around the waist. So let's talk about protection. Protection wise, I think this jacket is perfect for rapier fencing, for saber, for any light weapons really. It is decent for longsword, and the reason why I'm saying decent is because if your club tends to hit hard, or the area that you fence in hits hard, then I don't recommend it if you're someone who's new at fencing. If you can parry very well, I then by all means go ahead and get one of these. But there are some weak points in the jacket that is virtually no protection there. So it's like I said, it's an officer jacket, but it just has more additional features. So for instance, in this area here, there's absolutely no padding. So if you get a thrust right here, which usually happens a lot, it's gonna hurt quite bad. If you don't have a gorget like mine here that offers like some clavicle protection, if you get a downward fendente or a Zornhau right down here, it's gonna hurt, or Oberhau, or I'm not good with the German terms, but if you get a descending strike on your shoulder area in the clavicle, there is absolutely no protection there. If you are someone who wears a tank top underneath your SPES, the Velcro kind of rubs on your skin, so you definitely want to wear like an Under Armour shirt or something like that. I learned that the first day I took this for a spin, and so lesson learned. Now, the beauty about this jacket, and the reason why I bought this, is because of the fact that you have full control over your level. You have somewhat full control over the level of protection that this jacket can provide. Meaning, if I want to do longsword, I can armor up. I can put a chest protector in. I could, work towards putting Kydex into the pockets. I don't recommend putting Kydex into the front panel here, because obviously you need to bend, and unless you can have articulated Kydex plates coming down here, which is a bit kind of crazy, but if you could do that, by all means go ahead. Otherwise you will have a lot of trouble bending forward and whatnot. Now, there is another weak point that I forgot to mention. So it's not only just on the side here near the side of the chest, but there is a big part right up here, like this whole area right here. Now your elbow, your SPES elbow will protect your elbow, and you'll have the padding up here, and you can put some D30s, which is what I would recommend to put into your shoulder area to protect your shoulder bone. But there is a big weak spot right here that has no padding here. So if you get a nice, middle how or mezzani into the arm here, it's gonna hurt. So I mean, there's a lot of fabric, but that's it. There's no padding there. Okay, so that's some things you gotta watch out for. So here's some word of advice if you're buying or planning to purchase this jacket, or if you have it and you wanna get the best out of this jacket, is that you should swap out your foam padding for actual padding. So I mean, this was from my other jacket that I just kind of ripped off because it was sort of unnecessary, and I've been using this padding instead of the foam padding, and honestly it absorbs the impact much better than the foam. The foam, it does make the jacket lighter when you're using the foam, but it's not as good in terms of protection as regular padding. This will make the jacket a little bit heavier, but it will give you better protection in the ribs where you may need more. And the thing is, either way, foam or padding, I believe foam just won't breathe, period. Perhaps this will breathe a little bit better. Either way, it's still hot for me, but that's just some word of advice I can give you. You can also kind of, if you want even more protection on the ribs, you can just put some Kydex plate and a little bit of foam with the Kydex plates, or Kydex plate with padding would probably be your best bet for rib shots. The thing is with the rib pocket is it pretty much goes up to here, so it does protect a lot your full side there, which is good. Obviously anything going up the armpit is gonna hurt, but chances are you're not gonna get those often. If you can build some sort of, or get some sort of protection for this area here, would be perfect. I would definitely recommend a gorget that protects your clavicles. That would be definitely necessary if you plan on using this for longsword. That's what I would sort of recommend. There's absolutely no protection on the back, so if you do get hit in the back, it does sting quite a lot. I do want to experiment with the SPES plastron. I think I do like the idea of the plastron, but then again, it's going to get really hot as well, and the whole point of this jacket is to have a breathable jacket that you can have full mobility in. But I mean, if you want to armor up, at least the option is there for you. So if you can make if you can buy the SPES light plastic plates that comes with the arming points, I think it's a good idea, because it hovers, so there's no it pretty much just ties on to these arming points, so there's no actual strap that's restricting your blood flow. I would definitely recommend that. I just cheaped out, unfortunately, and I do regret it a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. The only dislike that I have about this jacket, aside from this one weak spot, however, if you buy the plates, it will protect you on that one weak spot. But the one thing I really disliked about this when I got it was the fact that it's tough to see, but there is some fraying on my forearm already, just from using the rapier gloves that have an extended forearm guard, and just from that forearm guard rubbing on my forearm caused it to fray. And I've only had it for 2 weeks, but I mean, granted, I've been fencing quite often for the past 2 weeks, but regardless, that shouldn't have happened. I don't know if it was just defected here, because on my right it's perfectly fine. So I don't know, maybe it's just my luck. So that's the only problem I have about this jacket so far. I didn't like the foam at first. It does feel very bulky, and I don't like the shoulder foam. But like I said, I bought D30 pads to go underneath the shoulder. It's just taking a very long time in the mail because of the crisis right now, so I haven't tried my shoulders with D30 pads yet, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work very well. I've been told that it does. I would definitely recommend using actual padding in the ribs and in the front panel if you can. It will protect you much more. Definitely you gotta use it with a chest protector for sure. But honestly, I still think I am very happy I'm still very happy with this jacket and with the purchase, even though it's quite expensive for Canadians to buy this jacket. But I am very happy that I have something that I can use mainly for light weapons, and the fact that I can just armor up and then use it for longsword is exactly the reason why I bought it. I hope this review helps, and I hope you stay safe during the crisis, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you subscribe, and hopefully I'll have the economic saber review video out and the CG katana review video out soon. It's just been very difficult for me to get my sparring partners to film with me, so it's been very difficult in these times to organize something like that. So hope you stay tuned. All right, take care.